It was a few days later when my brother started to come home every day, complaining about pains in his arms and legs. He'd say to Mum, "We were drilling again today, Mum. My arms and legs hurt." "My God," Mum said, "you'll never learn anything that way, drilling every day. Is your master gone mad or something?" Well, next morning, bright and early, after we'd all gone to school, there was a knock on our door, and when Mum opened the door, she was very surprised to see a young girl standing there holding out a school bag to my mum. She said, "Is this yours, Mrs.?" Mum took one look at it and immediately said no. "Yes, it is," said the girl. "Oh, but it's not, love," Mum assured her. "Mrs., is your son's name Cahill?" "Yes, it is," said Mum, but that's not his bag." "Well, his name is on the books inside." My mum took the bag from the girl and looked inside, and lo and behold, there was all his books in someone else's bag. The other books belonged to Tommy McCann, his best friend from Usher's Key. "Well, where did you find it?" inquired Mum. "My mummy saw two boys burying it in the front garden of our flats." "And where do you live?" asked Mum. "In the old flats," said the girl. "Thank you very much," said Mum. She couldn't wait to get her hands on my brother, who seemed to be starting his old tricks again, mitching from school. I always remember that day. We were only in from school when in came my brother. "We were drilling again today," he said. "Is that right, Cahill?" And with that she threw the school bag right across the room in his direction. He ducked, it missed him by inches, and hit the door. Well, where did this come from then? With that my brother knew the game was up. He ran straight out the door and went missing. My mother started to worry when he hadn't come home for tea. Then it went on for 7 o'clock. Dad had just come in and there was still no sign of him. So my granny was sent for. Gran was always sent for in a crisis, and this was a crisis. It was discovered that his friend Tommy went with him because he was also missing. So my dad and Mr. McCann went everywhere looking for them. Before Dad went, Gran told Dad to go easy on him when he found him. You didn't have to tell Dad that, as he never touched any of us. He always left it up to my mum. She was the one we all feared. It was midnight before they were found. They were hiding in Tommy's cellar on Usher's Key, afraid to go home. They had stolen candles out of Iron Key Chapel to keep them warm and keep them see in the dark. We were all dying to hear about what he had got up to and where he was all day, but my mum was dying to get her hands on him and give him a good hiding for putting her through so much worry. It wasn't unknown for kids to stow away on boats, never to be seen again. But instead of hitting him, she hugged him as she was so relieved to see him. He was filthy dirty from lying in the dirty cellar. He had to get a good scrub, and he was starving. When he had eaten, my mum told him he would have to confess it in a confession next Saturday about stealing the candles out of the holy house of God. He told us he saw huge rats running around, but he wasn't afraid of them. He was only afraid in case the police would put him away from itching. We were all very worried about him, as we loved him so much. And after all, we only had one brother, but he hated school and was always mitching.